Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters. Today I've got another product review for you guys. What you're actually looking at right now is the video from a Zoom Q8 handy video recorder. And I just picked this thing up the other day. Actually, I went to B&H, I took my DSLR, I had a Canon SL2 DSLR, and I took that over to B&H to trade it in. Because really, I just barely ever used that thing. It was a great camera, but most of the time when making YouTube videos, I was just way too lazy to set it up and just to deal with it. And I would end up using my little Sony Handycams for 99% of what I was doing on YouTube. So anyway, to make a long story short, I took the SL2 there along with a couple lenses, and they gave me way more for it than I thought they would. So I ended up picking up one of these Zoom Q8s. Now, I got the regular Q8, not the 4K, although this does shoot in a higher resolution than 1080p. It's like 2460 or something like that. It's like 2K, I guess is what you could call it. And what I'm recording on right now is actually a lapel mic I have plugged into one of the input jacks on the back of the camera. I'll post some photos on the screen so you guys can see what this thing looks like. But it's really cool. It has basically a interchangeable mic capsule on the top of it where you can put on different Zoom microphones. It actually comes with the XY pattern Zoom microphone, which I'm going to test out a little bit later in this video. And it also has two microphone or XLR, also 1/4-inch jacks on the back, which is what I have my lapel mic plugged into right now, which this cable is running from here all the way down to the back of the camera. And it's really nice. It's got a super wide lens. I'm actually sitting very close to this thing right now, and I can zoom out even more. Let me do that real quick. Can I do that while I'm watching? Yeah, let's see. And you can see how wide this thing actually goes. And I would say right now I'm less than a foot away from the camera, which is, it feels really weird to be recording this because I'm like right up in the lens. And like, in fact, if I'm like touching, right now my finger is like, it's like less than an inch away from the lens. So that's just to give you some idea as to how wide this thing is. It's a 160-degree wide-angle lens, which is great for capturing performances, if you want to get everybody in the shot. Yeah, but this is my first real test with it, actually. So what I'm going to do after I finish this intro is hook it up to my electronic drums first. I'm going to run the line output from my drum module into the two input jacks on the back of the camera, and I'm going to record that. And then tomorrow I'm going to head over to the studio. I have band rehearsal, and I'm going to record the full band using the built-in microphones on the device itself. So yeah, anyway, here we go. First test, well, actually second test. This was first test. Second test is going to be recording the drums. So here we go. Alright, I just wanted to show you guys some of the cool features that this thing has. So let's go ahead and turn it on. And once it's on, let me take off the lens cap. The lens cap, actually, let me talk about that for a second. When I first got it, I was like, man, this lens cap is kind of, I thought it was kind of crappy, but actually it's kind of good. Even though it's just a rubber, like squishy rubber thing, it actually fits on there really well and doesn't come off. Like, I've had a lot of cameras where the lens cap tends to come off, This one does not. So that's actually pretty nice. Plus it's light and it's soft and it won't scratch anything. And it just sort of dangles from this string that you put here. And also, one other thing to note, that there's no side handle. Like a lot of camcorders have this side handle. Basically because they really don't intend you to hand hold this thing, because there's no image stabilization at all. So if you're doing handheld video, it's really not going to look very good. So put it on a tripod. That's really what it's designed for. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff on the side here. What's really cool, like I mentioned before, you have some analog level adjustment dials here, but you can also turn on and off the different channels. I don't know if you saw that, but 1 and 2 was on. 1 and 2 are the back inputs. So let's turn those off, and then we can turn on the built-in, XY pickup pattern microphone up there by pressing either left or right buttons on the top there, and that'll activate those. But also you can see, let's see if you can see that on the screen. Test. You can see the volume levels there, or the levels for the mic that the microphone is picking up. And then if we tap the screen, that opens up this other little menu that has various functions on it. If we tap this button right here, then it gives you this really cool screen that basically you can adjust the panning. Like say if I want to put my inputs all in the center, we can just do reset here, and that'll put that in the center. And then let's do that on all of these, so the next time I go here I don't accidentally have them panned by mistake. Okay, and then another thing too is there's some built-in dynamics. I don't know how well you can see that last part, but say we want to turn on some dynamics on the XY mics here. We just press this button, and you'll notice there's limiter. Can you see that? Limiter, compressor, and leveler. Leveler is nice for spoken word because that will put that basically up to the correct level for when you're talking. That'll keep that nice and even. So it's pretty cool. Lots of stuff in here. It also has fan and power. I forgot to mention that. You can turn the fan and power on and off here as well. And like I mentioned before, there's a headphone jack in the back. Did I mention that? If I didn't mention it, there is one. And you can monitor the audio in real time with that. Okay, and then the other thing we can do is if we tap this gear icon here in the corner, that'll take you into some more settings. So we can go into recording mode, and I really like this feature. And what you can do here, what's really nice, is if you tap this create button, you can see I have MOV plus wave selected, and what that does, it actually creates wave files and video files. So you can go in and master your audio separately from the MOV file, which is the video file, which also has audio in it too. You can also use it to record just stereo audio if you want, or multi-track audio. It has 4 independent channels, and you can record all of those in multi-audio format. Or you can just record straight up video files with the MOV feature. So very cool. This thing has a lot of really cool features. For video, I have it set at basically the highest setting right now, which is 3M HD/30, which is kind of like 2K video. I guess that's 2K, or 3M. I'll just call it 3M because that's what they're calling it. 30 frames per second, 24. And then we have some other functions here. You can go all the way down to WVGA if you want, WVGA 60. Now you can do 60 frames per second as well. I'm sorry if you can't really see this screen, but I should test some of that because I do, like I said, I do like the look of 60 frames per second. And for on HD 720, that'd be good for like Instagram or whatever. You could do that. Nobody's really going to notice if it's just 720p on Instagram. I mean, 720p doesn't look horrible anyways. It's definitely better than VGA, but anyway, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Also, if we tap this camera button right here, there's some various scenes you can choose from. So if we tap that, there's concert lighting, night, concert low light, dance club, jazz club. I don't know what the difference between dance club and jazz club would be, but concert hall, rehearsal studio, garage, outdoor, and sunset. And right now, oops, I accidentally set it to garage. So let's go back. I'm just going to put that on auto. And then you can actually do the LCD. You can rotate, or you can lock the rotation on the LCD. It has USB functions here where you can tell it to be a card reader, USB microphone, or a webcam. And you can use this thing as a webcam, which is also pretty nice. Although it doesn't look quite as good as a webcam, I noticed when I hooked it up to my computer, as it does a regular video camera. And then in the settings, you can set your date, HDMI output type, power off, play mode, SD card, and things like that, but just your general settings in there. Now let's go ahead and power it off. And I just wanted to show you too, another cool feature is how this microphone actually folds down in the back. So we just push this button here on the side, and then it folds up like that. So it makes it much more portable. Put our lens cap on. And there you go. Pretty cool.